Okay, back again after cleaning, polishing, and more cleaning. It has finally been coming out quite nicely. I have used kerosene. As you can see here, some of the solid brass pieces have come out quite nicely. Just like that, you can kind of see it's really shiny, nice and clean. Like I said, it wasn't rusty, it was just slightly oxidized, so. But otherwise, it cleaned up quite nice. As well as the side plate here. It also was washed in kerosene, everything was washed in kerosene. These little trays with mesh in it. There it is. Now you kind of see that Penn logo a little bit more better. Here's the inside of it, nice and clean. There's no grease or oil left over. If you do see some, it looks like grease, but this is just the residue of the kerosene drying off. It will evaporate. So that's been cleaned off. Here's the clicker. And it's cleaned up quite nice, best I can. Like I said, really nice clean reel. Absolutely nothing wrong with it other than just a little bit of corrosion here and there, but for something that's made almost 100 years ago, not quite, more likely 80 years ago maybe, and it has cleaned up quite nice. Here's the little side rings. They're a lot more thicker than the other reels I have. I know the Penn 85, or excuse me, the what was it now? Some other reel had this other side plate, was a lot thinner. I think it was the Penn 180. Yeah, I think it was the Penn 180 had a lot thinner side plates. Like this metal's a lot thicker. You can actually even see right here how thick that metal is. It's almost I'm not going to say 1/8, but it is a lot more thicker. It has more weight to it. That's probably the reason why I was able to stand up all those years. The other side's a little bit better condition, but not much. Again, there's no chips. There's no splits on the ring. Sometimes the screw holes, they split right here in the corners, but I don't see any of that. You can see a little bit right here that the cross post was actually digging into the side plate. I think someone must have over tightened the screw at one point in time, but that's not fresh. That's happened a long time ago. So anyways, again, this is a mid to late 1930s Penn Long Beach 65. Again, it turned out quite nice. Unfortunately, most of the, I think it was not chrome, but I think it was nickel they used back in the day. They didn't have chrome plated back then. I think chrome plated came around the late 30s, early 40s roughly. But, you know, it's not bad. It's not like it's pitted at all. It's nice and clean. It's not deeply pitted. So it's mostly just surface corrosion. Other than that, it's quite nice. Nice piece of history. And the fact that you can still go fish with it if you want. But for this one, I'm not sure if I want to or not. Still thinking about it. I might go trolling with this reel, but I'm just worried about the side plates being brittle and it might crack under the pressure, or just simply I might bump it and it might crack again, or I don't want to risk that, so I might just leave it on the shelf, as well as the other reels. It's more of a collector's item. But this reel is collectible, I believe. I know the earlier Long Beaches are, but I'm not sure. This is early, but I think this is one of the earlier Long Beaches. As you can see here, we have a copper main gear and a copper pinion gear. The bay head had a brass, as well as the other reels I had, like the Bridge Cities. They're also made out of brass, but this is copper. Here's that star. Has a recessed place or piece for the collar to fit into. Here's the collar. Like I said, it's not really corroded. It was all nice and clean when I got it. It was just a little bit oxidized. But beautiful condition reel, no problems. Just a little bit of tarnishing. Crossbars are nice. The chrome's still on them still. But anyways, that is pretty much all the little pieces that have been scrubbed and cleaned. I use that wheel brush, and then I use a bit of steel wool later on to buff up the corners I can't get with that large wheel, because that wheel is around 8 inches in diameter. So that steel wool got into the crevices right here, as well as here a little bit. But it has turned out quite nice. Look how clean that is. Absolutely spotless. You can almost use it as a mirror if you want to. Also, not a lot of wear on this piece here. Is generally just a lot of wear. I know I have the Bridge City has a bit more wear. And this one over here is almost mint. So whoever used it back in the day didn't really fish it that hard, which is kind of a good thing. But otherwise, it turned out quite nice. Just a bit of kerosene in the screw holes, but that's okay, it'll evaporate. There's your dog, or dog spring, or anti-reverse pin. It's also copper. So a lot of copper and brass in this reel, or also nickel-plated parts that are made out of brass. Drag washers are also nice, and I believe they are compatible with the more modern reels. As I was looking, I had a new kit full of drag washers. Those was HD 100s. But anyways, there's that wave spring. It's also copper. It's kind of flawed now a little bit, not too much. You kind of see it's a little wavy, but not much. Here's the leather washers. The kerosene really dried them out, took all that grease off them. You can kind of see they're not cracked, they're not split. They're very much intact. I might even put these washers back in the reel again, just so that it's 100% original, but I'd rather just replace them with the carbon fibers. But it's still nice to have that original drag stack from the reel. As this reel is from mid to late 30s, that's just almost 80 to 90 years ago. That's a long time. Like I said, overall condition is very good. There's no chips or cracks, no missing screw heads. The springs and everything is intact. Just got a little dirty. There's all the screws. Nothing else is missing. Sometimes the screw kind of falls out of the tray here, falls on the table, but I don't see any. And also, I got one of these. These are like a spray bottle made by Worth.